Hi guys, so today we're going to make what I call a simply homemade hot chocolate. Well, it's a very simple recipe because it only uses three basic ingredients and you can make it in less than 5 minutes. So let's get started and let me show you how to do it. So what I have here is a full fat milk. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're just gonna pour it in a pan, and then we're gonna let it simmer. We're not going to bring it to a boil. We just want to heat it enough to melt the chocolate. So you can use a combination of full fat milk and cream, or half and half. But in here, I'm just using a pure full fat milk because I think it's already richer as it is. If you don't drink dairy, you can also use almond milk or coconut milk or soy. It's not going to be as creamy, but it's going to be kind of like healthy-ish. Not totally healthy because we're still using chocolate here, but at least it's better if you're trying to watch your your intake of your calorie intake, or you're trying to avoid dairy. So you want to wait for this to just um, simmer, and then you will start to see some steam coming out of it. So another ingredient, while we're waiting for that to happen, let me show you the other ingredients that we're going to use. So I have here a chopped semi-sweet chocolate. This is just like 1 ounce of semi-sweet chocolate. It's basically like this one. So I had this chopped really finely. So chop your chocolate as fine as possible because it melts faster that way. If you're thinking if you can use chocolate chips, I wouldn't really recommend chocolate chips for this homemade hot chocolate, because chocolate chips have stabilizer which makes its shapes retain, and it doesn't melt as fast and as quickly as when you chop the chocolate. So you get better consistency when you use chopped block chocolate. Another thing that we're gonna use is cocoa powder. So this is just cocoa powder that I already sifted, so that just to remove the lumps. And then if you another thing is, if you're thinking if you can use other type of chocolate. So because I'm using semi-sweet chocolate here, you can also use dark chocolate if that's what you like. And you can even use white chocolate if you want to make like white hot chocolate. But for this one, we just want to try to keep it simple and basic. And then from here, if you want to make some variation, you can definitely make that. So let's just wait for this to heat up, and then when we come back, I am going to show you, and then we're gonna add the rest of the ingredients, which are the chocolate. Okay, so I can see that the steam starts to come out of the pan. That means that this is already hot. The next thing that we're going to do is I'm just gonna scoop out small amount of this, and I'm gonna put it in my cocoa powder mixture here. The reason why I'm doing this is because we if you just dump the cocoa powder into the milk, you will get lumps, and it will be it's just a hassle to see lumps in your hot chocolate, right? So you want to dissolve it, just stir it and mix it until you don't see any more lumps. So make sure that you're using the unsweetened cocoa powder. You can use either the natural one or the Dutch process. The Dutch process will give you a darker hot chocolate, which is good, but either way it will work. So you see, it's smoother, it doesn't have lumps. So when we put this in the milk, it will dissolve easily. So make sure that your heat is in like low heat, because you don't want to bring this mixture into boiling point. We just want it to be hot but not boiling. Okay. And then just mix it. Okay, and the next thing that we're gonna do is we're just gonna put the chopped chocolate. Again, you can put less if you want to. This is just like less than 1/4 cup, about 3 tablespoons or 1 ounce of black chocolate that I chopped. And then I have my heat here in a low heat. I'm just stirring it until the chocolate is fully dissolved. So this is why I'm saying if you're using chocolate chips, it will take time for the chocolate to melt, because chocolate chips are meant to stand the heat. That's why they're better off when you use them in making cookies. So if you really want your hot chocolate to be really smooth and without any lumps, you can pass it in a sieve before serving it. But if I'm drinking it at home, I mean, I really don't mind. I'll just pour it in a cup straight from the pan. So I'm just stirring it, and again, I'm in a low heat. Now, if you notice, I did not add any sugar in this because I'm using semi-sweet chocolate. So I'm always saying, add the sugar at the end so you can taste it, and so that you'll know if you need to add sugar. Yeah, so basically I like it the way that it is. It's not too sweet, but it has an intense chocolate flavor. But by all means, if you want to add sugar, you can add sugar in your hot chocolate, maybe 1 teaspoon. Because later on, I'll put some marshmallow on top of this, and marshmallow is quite sweet. Or sometimes I put a whipped cream, and if your hot chocolate is too sweet, it becomes too overwhelming. So I think this looks good. So let me transfer this in a cup, and then I'll be right back. Okay guys, so let me show you the hot chocolate that we made earlier. So this is it. Look at this. It's rich and creamy and very chocolatey, and it's homemade. So you can add some marshmallow on top, like what I'm doing here. You can add as much or less as you want. You can even add some whipped cream, or you can just serve it as is. It's really amazing. It's delicious. It's decadent, and it's homemade. So let's try it. But it's really, really, really delicious. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you'll give it a try. And until next time, bye!